Yeah. Wait, should we record this? Because I saw this on my feed and I was going to leave a comment and I saw your comment on it. And then I
Yeah.
didn't even end up leaving my comment.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Yes. Okay.
Okay. When you start your business, no one ever prepares you for what's in store. So finding someone else who just gets it is sometimes the thing that can keep you pushing towards those big vision board business goals.
We're turning our Zoom coffee chats into a weekly, unfiltered podcast for online business owners. There were so many good ones, we always wanted to record them and repurpose them for content, anyways. And that's on being a social media manager.
I'm Jessica Sheehy.
And I'm Madeline Daigan. And this is
hashtag
managed. I think it's perfect.
I like it. I like it. I have to tell you about the dream that I had last night because it was probably the most hashtag managed coded dream that I could ever have. But I had a dream that we were co-hosts of a TV show, rightfully so. And it was literally like sort of like extreme. Remember the show like Extreme Home
Mm.
Makeover? That would be like every Sunday they'd come in and they'd like fully redo this house over like a weekend. But it's also like mixed with like I don't even dare I say like Southern charm, like but it because it was based in Charleston. But basically, we were going around to all of these like Charleston businesses, and we were like extreme makeover, like marketing business edition, like coming in and just like basically taking like the floor out from under them and showing them like no, here's what you can do, here's what you should do. And like, we had a TV crew following us, so I felt like people trusted us with like what we said. But it was just so funny, and I thought about it like I feel like I've seen a lot of like micro shows. I don't even know if that's the
Mm.
best word for it, like online shows like on YouTube. I feel like maybe in the past, like Netflix and Hulu have kind of done some businessy marketing shows, entrepreneurship, like beyond Shark Tank. But I feel like nothing is successful. But I don't know. I was like, this was the most hashtag managed coded dream I could ever have. But also like sign me up. Like, how do we fix
Same.
it?
No, but no, but actually, I think if you were to ask anybody I grew up with, like I was meant to be on TV. Like I was. I personally think that. Not just
Mhm.
like hopefully that does not sound like
No,
so like
you were either.
self-absorbed, but like no, like I would like to think we would make some good reality TV.
Yeah, I agree. Because I think we're really good at like going off of like each other's like energy, like you know what I mean, like if you start a sentence like I can finish it, or if you
Uh-huh.
have a thought I also have a thought, like marketing or like business wise. And I feel like that's why like everything just works so well with kind of everything we have going on. So yeah, I thought that was so random. I was also thinking to myself like why I know why like the Southern charm, just like Charleston reality shows in the back of my head because that was on my weekly report
Mhm.
last week. But I'm like, why is Extreme Home Makeover like on the back of my mind? But I did like watch that show like religiously every single week as a kid.
Well, and it's coming back because the
Oh, is
ladies
it?
of yes, the new hosts are the home edit, and they're best friends.
Oh, wait,
But
no way.
uh-huh,
I'm
uh-huh, and
I had to have seen that because I feel like subconsciously, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that was in my subconscious. Wait, that I'm obsessed now because 'cause I'm definitely going to watch that. I'm obsessed with them. I need them to do my house because I just, like, can't do it myself. It's
same.
just
Like
but it's an art that they do.
when we have our studio and office, what like our HQ,
Yeah.
like they're coming in. They're coming in and
Yeah.
making all our color coding dreams come true.
Yes, yes, I want it all. I want the color-coded bookcases, I want the
Mhm.
color-coded fridge, snack pantry, like, everything color-coded and beautiful.
Mhm.
100%. Yeah. I feel like that's what lives in the back of my head when it comes to, like, kind of everything, like I feel like moving and like settling in like a new like house apartment for me takes a really long time. Like I literally joked with Ryan because we lived in our last apartment for a year. I'm like basically like a month before we moved out is when I felt like it was a home. You know what I
Mm.
mean? Like cuz I
Yeah.
feel like I take like so much time because I'm also not like full disclosure, I'm not someone who's going to like go to all these like furniture stores and blow like a bunch of money on like if it's not practical and like if it doesn't make sense, I'm not going to buy it. Same with like home like decor, and I like to
Mm.
like antique and thrift, and like that takes time.
Yes.
You can't just go into an antique store, thrift store and find everything you want. Like you have to accumulate that stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, I don't know how I got there, but anyway, that was my dream, and so I think it'll be a reality. We just need to like figure out a way to produce it, and I think
Well,
we'd be good at it.
okay, this I feel like this is a great segue into our weekly reports because so I'm going to kick it off
Okay.
because and like I want to say why I think this is a good segue because it relates to my weekly report, and that is you know how I feel like we've asked ourselves this question a few times on the podcast where if we weren't doing social media marketing, like what would we be doing? We clearly, again, we are entrepreneurs to our core. It is in us. In every lifetime, I truly believe Jessica and I have like found each other, like we somehow have a business together.
Yeah.
And I'm watching the show Younger, so that's what I'm playing. We'll circle back to that. But I think we could also go into publishing, like publishing and doing marketing for publishing. Like I truly believe, like I'm calling that into our 2025 like mood board, like getting an author as a client
Yeah.
because I truly believe we would like knock it out of the park. I don't know. I'm
Yeah.
just obsessed with this show and just it's making me delusional enough to think that we could go into publishing.
I think we could though. Like I really think we could find someone who's like self-publishing, and like we
Right.
could really create like an amazing like marketing strategy for. Like this was so funny. This was a conversation that Ryan and I had literally yesterday. We had the conversation of like if we weren't doing what we are doing right now, like what would we want to do? Like we
Uh-huh.
we have like these existential like conversations all the time. And at half the time we're like saying something so wild like okay, if we didn't have to like go to school for like X amount of years or like spend a lot of
Mm,
money, like this is what we would do. And then last night I was like, why don't we just like do these things? You know what I mean? Like life is so short. Things are crazy right now in the world. Like there's no better time than the present to like chase after like a dream. And maybe it's because
yep.
I'm already an entrepreneur that I'm like, what do I have to lose? Like I'll just start something else, like it
Mhm.
doesn't really matter. But yeah, I think that would be really fun. And as two like book lovers, I feel like it would just be a fun thing to market to.
Absolutely. Okay, so with all of that being said, my weekly report. So what I'm reading is Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. I'm almost done with it, and just I it takes you back. It takes you
Hmm.
back. So I'm loving it. Then I'm eating avocado toast with strawberry, onion, and Trader Joe's everything bagel. If you're like my husband and think that sounds like kind of gross, like I promise you, like it is so good. It is so good. And then I'm playing, like I said, Younger on Netflix, and I'm obsessing over coloring books, more specific, like adult coloring books, just
Hmm.
I have a Barbie one, so I'm coloring that right
Ooh.
now. I say adult, and then it's like, oh, it's
Right.
Barbie.
Barbie's adult now. Like
Yeah,
the movie made it adult.
yes. And then I'm recommending that you do a random act of kindness this
Ooh.
week. And then I'm treating myself to a facial. I laughed at what you were treating yourself to. I'll let you talk about it, but I was just like, we are our self care girl. We are your self care girlies. Like, if you need somebody to tell you to go get a facial, a massage, or anything, we're your girls. If you are
Yes.
looking for a sign this week to go treat yourself to some self care, a little extra self care, this is your
Mhm.
sign. Go book it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's Valentine's season and I am like a firm believer and I think this is how I like always grew up with Valentine's Day. Like my parents always did a really great job of like making like Valentine's just like showing like that it can be like about self-love and self-appreciation. And
Mm-hmm.
so I love Valentine's Day. It's always like a me day even though I've literally been with Ryan for a very long time. Like I'm sorry. So Valentine's Day is a me day. I'm like
Yeah.
I'm gonna treat myself. I'm gonna do all the things that I like want to do for myself because why not? I'm my best Valentine. So for my weekly report, I just started Good to Great. It's a really slow start, I'm not gonna lie,
Okay.
but I was listening to a podcast episode and the guest on there was mentioning how she read this book and it was like one of her like top three. And when anyone ever says like it's in their top list, I'm like, okay, it's got to be in there for a reason. So I'm gonna stick through it. But I thought it was a really great book, just around in the way she explained it. Um, Around like leadership and management. And I feel like obviously I'm a leader, team leader, and a manager myself, but I just feel like leadership and management is something that you can bring like throughout your life. So I'm reading it now. I'm hoping that I can hopefully next week bring some like good golden nuggets because she brought so many nuggets from this book. Those are the books that I really love where you
Mm-hmm.
just have like the highlighted sections, the notes from it. I'm a Kindle girly, so obviously I'm, not actually like in the book, but so that's what I'm reading. I'm eating a Chinese chicken salad. And I actually went to Barnes and Noble over the weekend, and my favorite place in Barnes and Noble is the clearance section where they
Mm-hmm.
have like the super cheap books because I feel like I can just treat myself to. And I do buy physical books, like believe it or not. But I bought a couple of cookbooks that I've been wanting to like. I bought a sourdough book. I don't know if I can fully get into my sourdough era. I'm so scared
Okay.
about it. Um, Anyway, I bought a recipe book of, like, restaurant copycat, recipes, and in it had a lot of recipes from California Pizza Kitchen, which is, like, a big chain, and I remember, like, I really liked this recipe, so anyway, the one I found is from online because I don't have, like I can't actually link in the book. That is, I think, as a marketer, like, recipe books, I feel like need to do better digitally. Like there is such
Yes.
a market for food
Yes.
bloggers. Like why can't I physically share with you guys like a link to like a recipe in my physical like cookbook?
Mm-hmm.
All of the all of the cookbooks I have, I love them. Like I feel like I make so many things out of them. And they're very like I can't pull from them directly. I'm like, you know what? Like, no, we need to make this easier for people.
I literally had this same thought as I was sharing my like luteal phase recipes, like because again, a lot of the recipes that I grabbed were from these two physical cookbooks, and
Yeah.
when I was obviously tagging, and I will say again, you social media managers who are listening, like you guys will appreciate this. So one of the I shared two. Again, you guys can see, like, I shared actually the two cookbooks on our Instagram. One of the authors has not like acknowledged the post existence, which I get. Like, again, a lot of the times, like, they're being tagged in a lot. However,
Yeah.
the other one has like commented, shared to their own stories, and I'm like, thank you, like you get it, but I completely agree. I completely agree. So if there's
Yeah.
any authors, food people, bloggers listening, hit us up. Hit us
Yeah.
up. Let's have a
Yeah.
brainstorm.
$1,000,000 idea right
Yeah.
there, guys. Because also too, the other thing is like cookbook authors I know you pour so much time and energy like into each recipe and into the book, and I think they're like really great like works of art almost, they're cookbooks but they have stories and they have great photography and they obviously the
Mm-hmm.
recipes are great and tell a story too, but there's just so much opportunity I think around like what you can do digitally with recipes. And so I just feel like there's just a missed opportunity, you know? Like I think there's so many gaps in their marketing. But again, hey, that's kind of like on topic with us and books. Like, okay, I'm seeing a pattern.
Right,
And I'm
right.
also like, I need to watch Younger. Like, I need to add it to our
I
queue.
need you to. I need you to. Yes.
Okay. So I am playing this movie. So again, I need to probably watch Younger because I'm like we're Ryan and I are in a content rut. I have no idea. Like I like literally dread like, TV time at night because I'm like, what are we going to watch? Like we're just like we're going crazy. But we watched this movie over the weekend on Hulu. It's called Stillwater with Matt Damon. I think it's vaguely based on the like Amanda Knox story. She was an American who went to Europe
Oh.
for school and was, I believe, convicted for murdering a
Mhm.
friend, roommate. Um, and anyway, it's loosely based on that. Amanda has publicly said that this is not anywhere related to her story, but the movie's kind of like a thriller. It's kind of suspenseful and it has a couple of like turns. And so, anyway, I thought it was a good movie because I've never heard about it. I never saw the marketing. I think it's a few years old, but pretty good if you're just looking for like something new to watch and you like the kind of, thriller, like what's going to happen next kind of movies.
I feel
I'm
like I
obsessed.
convinced Brennan to
Oh,
watch that. Sorry.
Oh,
That was
yes,
loud.
yes. No, I think he would really like it. Yeah. And I think you would like it too. Like I think it's like
Mhm.
a good it kind of has a little bit of everything in it. So
Mhm.
it's
Mhm.
good for like all the viewers in in your household. I'm obsessing over the Monarch Money app for budgeting. I think we talked about this on a previous episode, but I'm really wanting to get better. So for me, like money and finances, it's going to be a work in progress, but for 2025, I actually want to like understand my budget more than I ever have. Like I don't really consider myself to be like um I don't consider myself to spend a lot of money or like go crazy, but I am someone who like I won't shop for like 4, 5, 6 weeks straight, and then I will spend 3 days and like I will shop like I have like Paris Hilton money. Like I will just everything in my carts. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna and it's usually because I'm like, okay, I'm gonna treat myself to this, I'm gonna do this, or I go out to run errands on a Saturday and I find myself at all of these stores and then, I'm like, wow, I did some damage. But
Mhm.
I really like the Monarch Money app. I've tried so many. This was one that Ryan was like, no, we're going to do this collectively. So we have a joint account. We have everything together because Ryan and I actually don't have a joint money account or a joint checking account. We have like our
Mhm.
separate. We actually don't even have one that's joint, like for bills or anything. We just
Brennan and I
I
are we don't either. We don't
yeah.
and I'm married to a CPA. Like
Right, right. I just yeah, I don't, but everyone's so different. Like my parents, for example, everything they had, like credit cards, checking, savings was all together. Just it's finding like what works. And
mhm.
honestly, like it's worked for us for so long. We're like we're not going to broke what or fix what's broken,
Mhm.
what's not broken. And so anyway, what I don't know is like how much I know how much money we like have to like spend and save and invest, but out of the spending money, I'm like, where does it actually go? So I like how it kind of like gamifies it a little bit, like based off of like how much you have in each of your categories. Again, there's a lot of apps that do this. We do pay like a little, I think, annual charge for it, but I think now that we've really like used it for like maybe 6 months now, we really have like a good understanding of okay, we have all of this. And it's kind of nice because now here we are, we're like at the end of the month recording this episode, and I have like money to spend, but I'm kind of like, okay, I have a couple of things that I'm going to purchase because I have it, in like a beauty category or I have it somewhere. But then I have other budgets where I'm like, no, I'm actually like doing really well. I'm like financially literate, so I'm gonna save money this month. So it just kind
Mhm.
of
Mhm.
gamifies it a little bit if budgeting is scary for you like it is me. on that note, recommending start your spring cleaning now. I just moved and I'm like, there's already things that I'm like, I need to deep clean things. I need to clean out through things. And I love a spring cleaning and decluttering. So I'm kind of working on that now. And I'm treating myself to, I need to book a hair appointment. I need a haircut. I got a blowout yesterday and I could just tell that the gal was like struggling. Like, so if someone else is struggling with like, because my hair is so thick and so long now. So I'm like, if someone else is struggling, then of course I'm struggling because I'm just literally throwing it up in a clip every single day. So I'm going to treat myself to a haircut, but I just don't know like what style I'm going. A part of me like
Mm.
wants to do like a full chop like I did like this time last year, but I'm also like I don't know. So anyway,
Mhm.
that's my weekly
Mhm.
report. A little indecisive, but hopefully next week I can bring some answers to you guys.
All right. Well, and speaking of, I feel, or did you just say 2025? Yeah,
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
this time
yeah,
last year. Okay. But I feel like that perfectly segues into our water cooler this week. And if you've been listening since the beginning of this year, you know that for us, 2025 is starting next month in a few days, literally
yeah,
one
yeah.
day.
Ooh, it's happening.
And when this comes out, it will be our 2025 will have begun. And
Yes.
so it's not too late, is what I'm trying to get at here, for you to still submit to our hashtag hotline one of your 2025 goals, any 2025 marketing predictions you have, or if you want to vent to us, if you want to, drag me for my cycle syncing episode, if you know, you know. More on that later. But but we're lucky because one of you guys did call into the hashtag hotline and you did share with us one of your 2025 goals, and we're going to play that for you now.
To keep evolving in every way possible.
I love that because I love the word evolve. Like, my word this year
Yeah.
is consistent, but I feel like consistent and evolve kind of go hand in hand. Um, I love
Yeah.
that. I love that for so many reasons. I'm like still stuck. I love what you just said in your report about being financially literate. Like, I think that is such a big thing, and that's, I think, a topic I hope we talk about more on the podcast this year. I feel like both you and I agree that that is something we should be talking more about, because we've been talking about numbers in your business, and I
Yeah.
didn't think I was going to share this on the podcast today, but now I want to. And before we hit record, I shared it with Jessica, and I need to trademark this. Jessica and I both need to trademark this, but I always tell you guys that you don't have to be a Fortune 500 company to have Fortune 500 marketing. But I told her, I was like, I want to add in a but you need to know your marketing budget. Like, you need to know your marketing numbers. And that's not just for the solopreneurs and the entrepreneurs listening, but that's for your clients as well. And maybe you guys take that, quote me though, give me some credit at least, be
Yeah.
like our girl,
Yeah.
our
A little tag
girls,
here. A little tag here.
you know. But I think that would be a great way if you are stuck on how to approach numbers with clients when it's very clear that they have zero idea, like, where their budgets are going. Or again, oftentimes, if you're like me, I run into clients who literally don't have a marketing budget, and
Yeah.
I'm stuck there feeling like, okay, why are we even having this conversation then?
Right.
In not a
Yeah.
mean way, but just
Yeah.
kind of
Yeah.
like, well,
Yeah.
then I don't know if you can afford me.
Yeah.
um so anyways,
Yeah.
do you have anything you want to add?
Yeah. No, I agree. I think I love the word evolving. I agree that it goes like even beyond like business and kind of, probably like her goals for where her social media management business can go in 2025. I think it creeps into like personal life too. And
Hmm.
as someone who just did all of our taxes like for the business and like personal between Ryan and I, It wasn't that bad. I always get so scared doing it. I don't know what it is. It just like it's such a scary thing to me. But again, it's numbers are like my number one like not nemesis because I do love knowing the numbers, but it's one of those things I would much rather let me do the creative, like let me do the fun. Um but the numbers are so important because one thing that I realized I have, and again, I've talked about it and this doesn't change the fact, but like entrepreneurship is a roller coaster. Like it's up, it's down, it's like zigzag. It's like it's all over the place. But knowing the numbers has really helped me figure out like, okay, actually my feet are on the ground, like everything's fine. Like we're
Mhm.
in a good solid place. And it just helps me understand things a little bit more, kind of beyond like the emotion. I think that's like a for business and kind of for beyond. So I really love this. I would love to hear like more goals for 2025. And honestly, like, hey, let's do like 2025 starts in February. So start your resolutions now. Like, I think we're all over the whole Jan 1 because when do they end? Like, people create them on Jan 1 and then they're over when, like, I don't know, January 10th. I'm just making that number up. But I know at some point in January, like, people are more likely to ditch their resolutions. So I
Yeah.
feel
And
like
I
start them
feel like
later.
too I feel like a lot of commercials, I see a lot of commercials that are trying to like go like use that little data to help them like promote whatever they're promoting. Like I feel like Apple Watch, I've seen that,
Yeah.
but maybe
Yeah.
not.
Yeah. Yeah, agreed. So if you have any resolutions, goals, anything for 2025, definitely let us know and we'll submit it. And also great example of a water cooler that's anonymous. I wanted to share that too because I know obviously we're playing this on the episode and it's like kind of out there for everyone to listen. So the water cooler is you can submit it through our hashtag hotline on our website hashtagmanage.com or in the show notes of this episode, and it can be completely anonymous. You can tell us who you are, you can tell us, you know, your name, your business name, your Instagram handle. Like if you want us to like go over there and follow you and know who you are, by all means, you can do that. But if you want to be anonymous, if you want to share a story, whether it be personal or about business, if you need a vent about a client or something, like it can be anonymous. So I just wanted to point that out too. Like you anonymity can be a thing. So
Yes.
leaving it on that.
Uh, all right. There's no beautiful segue into on my feed, but what is on your feed this week?
What's on our feed this week? From trending topics to interesting conversations, here's what's been catching our attention lately. On my feed this week is Rare Beauty's creator
Mm,
campaign.
mm-hmm.
I have to say, I'm gonna kind of piggyback and talk about two things that are on my feed, but they're very
Okay.
related. I think you and I, for like even in 2025 predictions, but also 2024 predictions, have been talking about like how do businesses actually practice what they preach and bring their community. Hey, good little tidbit for this week's topic, but how do they bring their community into like what they're doing, like marketing and PR wise? Rare Beauty creates a creator campaign, brings so many diverse, talented influencers um, into this campaign for their soft pinch contour, which I love Rare Beauty. Like, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
applause for Selena, like insert applause here. But I think she's created like a really like remarkable company, but her values
Oh,
and like who she is as an owner, you just like you can feel that in everything that they do. And so anyway, I really like applaud everything they're doing with this. I also want to shout out Coco Kind. If you guys are familiar with that brand, they're doing a brand trip with their community at the moment. And so I'm like, you know what? I really wanted to just kind of group both of
mm,
those into like one on my feed thing because applause to Rare Beauty and Coco Kind for actually doing what I don't think other brands are scared to do these things. I think they just get way more PR and publicity for doing the crazy outlandish trips and everything that they're doing. versus going smaller scale, putting community first. But like, there, to me, like, when I buy a product, like, and I love the product, I'm obsessed with the brand. Like, I'm a fixator through and through. So like, I love Rare Beauty. So anytime like I see something Rare Beauty, I'm just like, I love you guys even more. Let me go buy more of the products, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I actually don't know if I own anything from Coco Kind, but now I'm like so curious that I'm going to buy because I'm like, that was in a world where most brands are bringing the most viral and elaborate influencers on their trips. I actually love a brand that's actually bringing their community. So I just wanted
Mm-hmm.
to highlight both of those on my feed.
Okay, maybe I should have gone first because is again beautiful
I know,
segue
good, good.
into today.
We'll bring it back.
Yeah. Okay, so on my feed, okay. Also, wait, quick side note. So last week we talked a little bit about, or no, now I'm mixing up things. We're gonna be having our Super Bowl, like
Mhm.
post ads, and we made a few predictions. Now I can't remember. We
Yeah.
already made
Yeah,
those
yeah,
predictions. You guys
yeah.
have heard those. Okay.
Yep.
Sorry, my days and weeks just get confused. But after recording that episode, I thought of one more and it relates to the beauty. And that is, I think we're going to see a big one from e.l.f. And they've already, again, a lot of these companies are already teasing their ads, and Megan Trainor is like in one of these teasers. But when I was geeking out with Brennan, because I can't be blowing up Jessica all the time, so like my husband is is the second person, like in all honesty, because Jessica would be like, oh my gosh, Brennan. But so now here I am sharing it with you, and that is just with last year with the Mean Girls movie, with the Indy 500 and all of that. I think it is, here's the thing. I think it would be genius for e.l.f. to do a big Super Bowl commercial, but from what I've seen with the Megan Trainor one, I don't know if I was the ad person, I'd be going this route. I feel like their ads right now feel very girly still. Where, think about it, e.l.f.'s products with their and now I'm drawing a blank, but their primers and all of this,
Mhm.
okay? They're starting to put themselves into the women's sport industry, right? Or like at least being seen in these women's sports venues and whatever.
Yeah.
Indy 500, all like, so
Yeah.
what if, again, $1 million idea, like I think they need to take their commercials and their campaigns in the direction of like you would see like an Adidas or Nike commercial where it's just like where it's like I feel like growing up you and I saw like girls who did sports. That's a whole other topic. Like I applaud
Mhm.
Dove because they like also
Yeah.
explain like why girls don't like our periods, just so many things. And I feel like growing up, you all like girls who did sports were the tomboys. They didn't wear
Mhm.
makeup. Well, guess
Yeah.
what? The world's changed. They're having like long nails. Like they
Yeah.
are girly. So like that is the way I want to see them. I want to see them being sponsors of the
Mhm.
W. I'm gonna butcher it, WNBA.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Okay, I'm like, oh god, but like just like that, and like really lean it. If I were, again, I haven't clearly done enough research, but really if I were a part of their influencer campaign and like saw their influencer marketing budget, that's the route I would take.
Mhm.
Period.
100%. What 100%. I like
And
that.
that's hashtag managed. Okay. So anyways, but on my feed is this iconic interview. So Pamela Anderson, we all know, is my woman crush, and I love just inspiration all around. Well, she's in an upcoming movie or she is in the movie Showgirl, The Last Showgirl. I really want to see it, but she did an interview for Elle, and the woman interviewing her was Martha Stewart. And you
Mhm.
guys, I'll be sure to link the interview in in our newsletter, but to be a fly on the wall. And just, I feel like this goes kind of with our cycle syncing and just women empowerment in general, because maybe it's because I'm talking a lot about cycle syncing lately that I'm seeing a lot of ads. Like Halle Berry has this master class for menopause and whatever, but just
Mhm,
seeing these women who, where it's like age, like in the ageism thing, where,
mhm.
we live in this society where it's like once you reach a certain age, it's like, up, you're thrown away, you're nobody, you're nothing.
Yeah.
And Pamela's documentary, her memoir, and just even Martha, like, I'm so happy to be seeing these women back in the spotlight, taking back their narratives. Like, that's my biggest thing is they realize, I think we all can relate to them in a way where, especially in my 20s, I feel like now that I'm in my 30s, again, I'll be 31 this year, so I'm not like really truly in my 30s, but I think when we're in our 20s, we're so obsessed over our narratives, like in the images we put out into the world. And I think that's human.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes we let it take over and paralyze us. I know I have. And I feel like with Pamela, she had to in the past, like where again, she was the Playboy bombshell, but
Mhm.
she is so intelligent, like so intelligent that it's almost like that stereotype where a dumb blonde, but it's like she is far from a dumb blonde. And same with Martha Stewart.
Yeah.
So I just, I don't know if you read it, Jessica, but like
I haven't.
definitely
I will read it today.
it's longer, but it's in bite sizes. And just Martha cracks me up just because
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'm here for it though. No, I'll definitely read it because the fact that it's the two of them, I mean, just absolutely iconic. Yeah, and I absolutely love kind of everything that they're both doing right now. Like you said, to like break through like the narrative that, media has like painted for them and just
Mhm.
women of their age. And even of their backgrounds, you know what I mean? Like even with kind of everything that Pamela and Martha like collectively have been through, like just they've broken their stereotype like over and over again, and I think that's just like another, like yet another layer of like powerful, like of how powerful their message is and just their brands, because I think it's just inspiring, like if they can do it, like any woman can do anything, and like we can. But it's just amazing to see like women who go through like trials and tribulations like in their life and come out on the other side of it like super
Mhm.
successful. Like it just makes it way more achievable for like everyone. And I think as like um as someone like growing up, like you're always looking up to different like women like who are like always like older or like where
Mhm.
you want to be or like in the careers or industry that you want to be in. And so seeing them so successful, I think is really great, especially at the age that they are, because I mean, like forever society has really put women into a mold of like now it's like you can choose become a mom or you can choose like a career, but like oh, don't ask for both or don't think you can do both
Ugh.
successfully. And now it's like no, you can, so I just think it's incredible. So yeah, I'm excited to
Okay, before we move on to today's topic, I want to document this, like have it on record so that when it does happen, we can look back and rewatch this and listen to it. But I think we will meet and interview Martha and Pamela one day.
read it.
I think they will be on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean,
When, I don't know, but like I'm calling that into existence.
yeah.
I just got goosebumps. I will cry. Like, just so y'all know, I would cry on that episode. I'd be like, holy moly.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So funny. But no, like they, what's that quote that they say? It's like, don't meet your idols. Like, no, I'm sorry. I want to
Yeah,
meet my idols. Like,
I
I'm
do.
sorry.
I
Like,
do. And
cause
it will be an experience. Like,
yeah.
and that's on them. Sometimes I feel like, where it's like, That's on them. But I also think that we would be chill. Like, I do think we would be chill.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? I'm
Internally
gonna take my
dying.
chance. Yeah. I'll take my chance. It's totally fine. Like if I don't know, like if Martha's having a bad day and she like snubs me, I just got snubbed by Martha. Like what could be better? So no, I'm here for it. So who cares what that quote says? We're gonna meet our idols.
Yeah.
Everyone should meet their idols.
Yeah. We get it. You're busy and don't always have an hour to listen to us talk all day, which is why we're breaking up this episode into 2 parts. So be sure to tune in this upcoming Thursday for part 2 of why an audience isn't the same as a community.
If content creation has you staring at a blank screen, contemplating a career change, you need to attend our How to Create Content for Clients, even if you've never worked in their industry webinar. We're breaking down how to create scroll-stopping content without the stress, the second guessing, or the awkward, what should I create for this client moments. You'll learn a repeatable process to confidently create content for any industry, how to research, strategize, and deliver content that aligns with your client's goals, how to scale your content creation skills to fit your ever-growing social media management business. Save your free seat now at hashtagmanaged.com/content before you waste another hour debating between 2 almost identical font choices and what do I write for this caption. Thanks so much for listening to this episode. If you made it this far, I think we've officially become internet besties. You can always call into the hashtag hotline and say hello, leave a review, or ask your burning questions.
Make sure you follow, rate, and review the podcast wherever you're listening from. Subscribe to the Social Club newsletter for our weekly email and shoot us a DM over at hashtag managed on Instagram, letting us know what your biggest takeaway was from this episode.